All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is manual source, which is simply put, just going on Google and searching for the category we're interested to look for. So let's do just like Nike sale. If we want to look for something in the Nike category, we just put Nike sale. Oh, you know what? I've done Nike sales or sourcing for Nike a lot on my other sourcing videos. So let's do something else. Let's do Lego sales. And if you are gated on Legos, I have a Ungate video that I'll link below. Really easy to get ungated on Legos if you are gated for that. So you can join in on the fun. Right now, Legos, you can find a lot of good sales during Q4. So it shouldn't take too long to find something. What I generally look for is something with a very large discount, right? The larger the discount, the better. So this one we can see it's almost 50% off. I want to try something for 50% off, right? So looking through here. I also don't want to sell too high of a ticket price on Legos just because if a Lego set gets returned and it was opened, you don't know. There's so many pieces, you don't know if something got missing or something. And it's really hard to resell a used Lego. Resell meaning try to liquidate it on eBay or something. Whereas like something like shoes, if it's worn, at least you can resell it used and people will buy it. Let's see. See some of these just a little too high. Okay, let's look at this one. Lego City Police Chase. It's on a pretty large discount. So what we're going to do is just going to copy the title. We're going to go over to Amazon. I'm going to paste it. All right, so with Legos, you got to look at the number, right, to make sure you're, in fact, sourcing the right one. So 6317. 6317. There might be multiple listings. So if you see these panels right here, this is from BuyBot Pro. I have a free trial below if you're interested, but BuyBot Pro is really great with this feature just because you can kind of get a snapshot view without actually going to the listing of just relevant data points like number of FBA sellers, number of merchant sellers, and the BSR. The lower the BSR, the higher the sales velocity. So this one right here, I think this is the correct listing. This sales velocity is pretty low. It's low enough. I tried to target under 100,000. Now the BSR differs as far as the sales velocity per category. A 64,000 BSR in toys and games isn't the same as another category, right? So this is the listing, I believe. So let's check over here. Same picture, same number, right? All right. So I'll let BuyBot Pro load up. $67.99, so around $68. All right. So let's put the buy price into BuyBot Pro, just $68, and we're going to click Analyze and let it load for a second. So I'm just going to go through the data points that I look at on BuyBot Pro. There's so much information here. I collapse all the things that I don't really look at as much, although all these are pretty relevant. It really depends on you. Very subjective to which data points you look at, but I'll just go through the ones that I look at. So first thing, we'll go on dashboard. I'm not logged in right now, but it'll let you know right from the jump if you can sell this product or not. And it's really advantageous to look at this rather than go on Amazon FBA inventory, try to add the product to see if you're gated or not. This right here makes your time much more efficient by just looking if you can sell this, if it's a hazmat, if you're eligible, and if it's a dangerous good. Then we can go into alerts to see if it's a meltable. If it's a meltable right now, you can send it into FBA, no problem. But during non-meltable season, which is usually during the summertime, I forget the exact dates, but it's around summertime, you're not able to FBA it. You can FBM it, you can, but you cannot FBA it. The IPA radar, I believe BuyBot Pro has its own data from its sellers that have alerted them if certain brands have given them IP complaints. So really cool feature. If it's oversized, it'll let you know right here this product is oversized, so the fees could be a little higher. And if it has variation, this one does have a variation. Now, speaking of variations, this tab right here, you can click Show Variations. So generally speaking, if one variation has a lot of reviews, we can assume that it has the most sales, right? That's usually what most sellers do. It's not as relevant for this listing, but things like apparel, which has, sizes like small, large, medium, extra large, or shoes, size 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the works. This gives us a really user-friendly chart to know which variation is selling the most, quote unquote, on most. A size small could have the largest amount of review share than a size medium. this can be indicative that the size small is doing the best as far as sales. Not always the case, but at least it gives us some sort of data point that we can use to help make better decisions when we purchase, correct? So this one, frustration-free packaging is selling the most versus the standard packaging. So take that with what you will, but if it's a size 7 versus a size 9, if the size 7 has a larger amount of review count, then we can assume that the size 7 is selling the best. Maybe we'll start with the size 7 first to sell, right? So amazing and very powerful tool right here. Now back to the panel on the right, we're going to scroll down and look at the details. This is probably the most used as far as what I use. We can, bam, right here, the returns 50%. Profit $34. It gives us ASIN, lets us copy the ASIN immediately if we want to paste it and try to add it to inventory. You can also copy the ASIN up here as well. JZ is what it ends with. JZ, same ASIN, right? And then it gives us our break even. If we did want to sell to break even, it would be at $97. And also, if you want to FBM this product, you can toggle FBM, you can put your shipping cost, click analyze. Essentially, if you're doing FBM, you're not going to be accrued the Amazon pick and pack fee. You'll just be accrued your own shipping fee. So that'll give you an updated price and profit based on your merchant fulfilled shipping cost. But we're going to assume we're going to FBA this, and it goes back to the original ROI and profit that we saw here. Scrolling down, we have the BSR. I'll look at the BSR here, 64,000 selling well in the top 1%. And then also the estimated sales calculator telling us that this sells about 306 units this month and gives us a projected as well. Scrolling down here is further, the export data tool, very, very useful tool. In the back end, you can connect your Google Sheets to BuyBot Pro. And if I want to send this to a sheet to my VA maybe, or to just my own personal lead sheet, you can just click it and it'll say it's copied over to that Google Sheet, and it's immediately copied for you, whether you want to bookmark it, whether, again, you want to communicate it to your VA. All the works, you can do that just by clicking a button. Excellent tool. There's other tools here as well. This Profit Protector Pro tab I use as well. That's their Repricer that I use. You can set your minimum maximum right from the listing. Really powerful way to save time. But we're not going to go into Profit Protector Pro in this video, but in the future I will go through this. Anyways, also it has all these charts. They've imported this data from Keepa, I believe, but I prefer to just use Keepa itself, and that is what we're going to go to now. So let's check out the Keepa here. And I'm going to run through this kind of slowly. So if you're really versed in Keepa, you can fast forward this. But essentially, I'll first look at the year. In the full year, we can see that there was buy box price present for a little while. Then the buy box gets suppressed, and comes back. The buy box price, again, guys, is just the price when you can see it at the front of the listing, and it allows you to add it to cart immediately. Usually when the buy box price is present, it leads to higher sales because it gives the customers a call to action button, right? When a call to action button is not present, it warrants the seller or the customer to click the all buying options and find another seller. But that usually leads to less sales. I think a lot of customers don't know that you can click see all buying options and look at the other sellers on the listing. That might be why, but nonetheless, the sales velocity usually does decrease when there's not a buy box present. The yellow shaded area region indicates that Amazon was on the listing, and when Amazon's on the listing, most of the time they have an abundant amount of the buy box share, which means they're going to be greedy with the buy box. They're not going to give it to the seller, the third party seller, which is us. And they're going to sell it at a price that's not usually profitable for us. So that's why I usually stay away from when Amazon is selling on a listing. From my own experience, I hardly ever get the buy box, you know. So we can see here earlier in the year, in January, Amazon was on this listing and was selling for $100. When Amazon's off the listing, we can see that the sales rank went up, meaning the sales velocity decreased. Again, it's because there's no buy box. The seller count is around 10 sellers. As we keep going, in May, the buy box came back, and Amazon's not on the listing either. So third-party sellers were gifted the buy box, selling well. The BSR is still hovering around 50K. Amazon came back in June, July, August, September. We can see that the BSR has dramatically decreased, meaning the sales velocity has increased. Again, because a buy box is present, we can assume is the reason. Then buy box went away. Seller count is decreasing, went back up. The BSR is decreasing. This is around Black Friday, right? Yep, no, not yet. Black Friday happened right around this time. You can see that the BSR dramatically decreased all the way to 2,000. So a lot of sales happening at this time, and as a result, the seller count has decreased. And now, during the month of December, the seller count has dramatically decreased, while the BSR has still is simultaneously pretty low, meaning that sellers have been going out of stock probably, and buy box is present at almost 100. Wow, $130 at one point. There was a buy box, and there's only 6 sellers at that time. So maybe this product was hard to find, and sellers were able to put on the listing, and it flew off. And at this moment, let's go to the last 3 months. Around this time, $138 is the buy box, and with only 3 sellers. And today, the buy box was present yesterday, but today there was no buy box. Well, there was a buy box for a short time at $100. But with 5 sellers on the listing right now, the lowest price is $138. Right? So that's the price that you can buy it at. We saw on Target right now, show in stock. There's one store here. There was a store here that had it. Okay. So there's a store near me that does have one. So maybe in your area, there's other Targets that have this product in stock. I would advise go get it immediately and list it. That should fly off. So also what I like to look at is the data tab in Keepa. You can go to the offers tab, and you can toggle the last 30 days and see how much it's been selling for, how many units has been sold in the last 30 days by sellers. This is showing that this store, has sold 140 in the lifetime of its selling history. In the last 30 days, it's sold 16. This might be really indicative because of scarcity of the units. I'm sure that if there was more units to go around, there'd be much higher numbers here. You can also go to the buy box statistics and see who has been winning the buy box more than others. 27%, 22%. It's for the most part, it's distributed quite evenly. Amazon was on this listing for a little while, as I alluded to earlier. So it's won 10% of the time, but this store right here has won 27% of the time. So in conclusion, buying for $68, sell for $138. The return is 50%, and the profit is around $34. If the BSR is pretty low right now, which is indicative that it is selling quickly. And right now, with just 5 sellers on the listing, if you're able to get your hands on this product and list it, it'll fly off and you can make that profit pretty quickly. I would advise you to do FBM just because it's hard to find right now. And if you're able to be one of the sellers who are able to list it, you can get it sold quickly.